Whispers in the dark. The underground refuge was colder than usual, the air thick with tension as Lyra, Zara, and Dr. Thorne huddled together around their modest campfire. The flickering flames cast dancing shadows on the walls, but one shadow in particular held their attention: Shadow, the mysterious cat that had somehow survived the alien invasion. It had been days since they found the feline in the dark recesses of the refuge, its black fur blending seamlessly with the shadows that seemed to cling to it. Since then, Shadow had become a constant presence, silently observing them as they planned their next move against the alien overlords. But there was something more to the cat, something unsettling. Lyra watched as Shadow curled up near the fire, its luminous eyes reflecting the flames. She couldn't shake the feeling that the cat was more than it appeared. "Do you ever wonder how Shadow survived this long?" she asked, breaking the silence. "I mean, the invaders wiped out all the animals, right?" Zara, leaning against the cold stone wall, glanced at the cat with a thoughtful expression. "It's crossed my mind. There's something off about it. But I can't put my finger on it." Dr. Thorne, always the scientist, had been studying Shadow from the moment they found it. He nodded in agreement. "I've been running scans whenever I can, trying to figure out if there's anything unusual about its biology. But so far, nothing. It's just a cat, at least, according to the scans." Lyra frowned, her unease growing. "But how did it survive? And why does it stay with us?" As if responding to her question, Shadow suddenly stood up, its fur bristling. The cat's eyes glowed brighter, and it fixed its gaze on the dark tunnel that led deeper into the refuge. A low, almost inaudible growl rumbled from its throat. Zara tensed, instinctively reaching for his weapon. "Something's not right," he muttered, his eyes following Shadow's gaze. Before anyone could react, Shadow darted into the tunnel, its movements swift and silent. Without a second thought, Lyra grabbed her gear and took off after the cat, Zara and Thorne close behind. The tunnel twisted and turned, the darkness closing in around them as they pursued the cat. The only sound was the soft patter of Shadow's paws on the stone floor and their own hurried footsteps echoing in the confined space. "Where is it leading us?" Thorne whispered, his voice barely audible over their breathing. Lyra didn't answer, her focus entirely on the elusive figure ahead. Something compelled her to follow, an instinct she couldn't ignore. Shadow had always been strange, but now there was a purpose to its actions, something urgent. They rounded a final corner, the tunnel opening up into a large chamber they hadn't explored before. Lyra skidded to a stop, Zara and Thorne nearly colliding with her as they all stared at the sight before them. In the center of the chamber, surrounded by ancient machinery and cables that pulsed with a faint, eerie light, was Shadow. The cat sat calmly amidst the chaos, its eyes locked onto a large, dormant device that hummed with an energy unlike anything they had encountered. "What is this place?" Zara breathed, stepping forward cautiously. Thorne's eyes widened in recognition. This is a neural interface. But it's unlike any human design I've ever seen." Lyra's heart pounded in her chest. "You think the invaders built it?" Thorne shook his head, kneeling down to examine the machinery. "No, this predates their arrival by centuries. Maybe even millennia. But it's not just technology, it's organic, alive in some way." Before they could question further, Shadow moved again, this time walking directly toward the device. As it approached, the machine responded, lights flickering on and the hum growing louder. Shadow turned to face them, its eyes now glowing with an intensity that sent chills down Lyra's spine. The cat's mouth opened, but instead of a meow, a distorted, mechanical voice echoed through the chamber. "It's been too long. I've waited for you." Lyra staggered back in shock. "Did that cat just?" Zara raised his weapon, but Thorne grabbed his arm. "Wait. This might be our only chance to understand what's happening. The voice continued, emanating from Shadow as the device behind it fully powered up. I am the last guardian of this refuge. The time has come to awaken what lies dormant. You are the key to everything. Lyra's mind raced. The cat, this creature they thought was a mere survivor, was something far more ancient and powerful than they had imagined. And now it was speaking to them, revealing secrets that had been buried for centuries. What do you mean? Lyra demanded, stepping forward, her voice trembling with a mix of fear and determination. What are we supposed to do? Shadow's eyes narrowed, the glowing light within them intensifying. You must choose, to awaken the past or forge a new future. The decision will shape the fate of humanity. As the machine pulsed with energy, casting an otherworldly glow over the chamber, Lyra realized the weight of the choice before them. Shadow, or whatever it truly was, had led them here for a reason. The answers they sought, the hope they desperately needed, all hinged on the decision they were about to make. And as Shadow watched them with its unblinking, luminous eyes, Lyra knew that nothing would ever be the same again.